Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Angie is yes, and good afternoon, everyone. I am so excited to be here. Today is a book launch. This is a really, really special one. Not that, our other book launches are not special, but this is a really special one and is dear to my heart. I get to interview the ladies of Journey to Joan. This is the Magnificent Seven. This is the last graduating class of the Books to Business Publishing Boot Camp. And so I'm super, super excited to be able to take this journey with these ladies and just to be able to share this day with them as well. So, yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to get started. First of all, if you're joining, though, please share the broadcast out. Share, share, share. If you got some, folks, invite your folks to come up on it in here and join us, and so we can celebrate these ladies as well. I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Angela M. Mitchell, and I am the director of marketing and social media here at Victoria Shoe Press. And yes, so I'm gonna bring these ladies up without further ado. I've always wanted to say that to y'all. Without further ado. I'm going to bring these ladies up. First up is Miss Tangela Hall.
Hi.
We got Trina Sand in the house.
Hello, hello.
We have Mrs. Althea P. Jones in the house.
Good afternoon.
And we have Mrs. Charmaine LaFond in the house. Now we have to bear with Charmaine. She cannot. We are not connected. She here to sit here and look beautiful and support us. But we having technical difficulties. But it's all right because the enemy won't beat us today. Not today, right?
Hey.
So that's it. Let me get over here so I can make sure I can see everyone's comments. I'm so glad y'all are here. I'm so glad y'all are here. It took a minute, right? It's been a while. It's been a journey, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
So glad y'all are here. Oh, wait, I thought I heard something. So before we get into our conversation and discuss this amazing project, I'm going to give everyone a chance to introduce themselves, and just say, tell everyone a little bit about yourself. And so I'm going to start with the person that is to the right of me, Mrs. Tangela Hall. I feel like I'm like on The Price is Right, right? Come on down, Tangela Hall.
So I'm Tangela Hall. I am a new to writing, but excited about the whole journey. I've been kind of secretly writing for years, and this is the first year that I actually came out to, with writing to the public. So I'm excited. This is one of first of many. And I am, of course, here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Love my city. I also, am a mental health therapist. So I kind of, use both my writing to help, in the area of mental health, but also I consider myself a kingdom strategist because I love me some Jesus and I love to represent the kingdom. And so that's where my heart is in everything I do. So that's me.
I love it. I feel like I had y'all back too far.
Yeah.
That's so much better. I couldn't see y'all, man. I had y'all way back. I needed to blow you guys up so I can see y'all. So next, who is next in line? Miss Trina Sand.
Great afternoon. Hello, hello. Who am I? I am a two-time best-selling author, one-time international best-selling author, and this is my second collaboration with a group of individuals writing a book. My first book, Mending My Broken Pieces, was best-selling and released in 2021. And we did the other book, that was released in 2022. And so here's 2023. And I also did a journal this year that's being reworked actually right now, and have more books to write yet. They're in their process. So that's who I am right now. I also work a regular job, but on my side gig, I love to write and read and enjoy my family.
And I love it. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, ma'am.
Amen.
So next we have, wait a minute, in my line, Mrs. Althea P. Jones coming to the stage.
Hello. Yes, Miss Althea P. Jones is my name, and I live in sunny Las Vegas where God lives. People say Sin City, but guess what? Wherever sin is, God lives.
Hmm.
Hallelujah. And so I too am a best selling author. My last book was, well, prior to this one, is purify this house, challenges and triumphs for blended families. And I am a harmony coach. I also have a children's book called Joy, the Car That Went Bump Diddy Bump. And I also have a marriage book. It talks about my husband and I relationship for 49 years. And this book that is on the hot on the press right now is dear to me because I too have been writing for years. And in 2012 was my first book. And I look forward to writing many, many more. Hallelujah. And
Absolutely.
June 10th, I became the Miss Senior Golden Years USA
Yeah.
Queen here in my
Yeah.
city. And so it's an awesome reign. So thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I love it. And of course, congratulations again on that. I'm always amazed at that. I think that is like so awesome. You know what
Thank
I
you.
mean? To win a beauty pageant. Even I don't like to call it that, but to win that, you know what I mean? So
Thank
that's
you.
definitely
Yes.
amazing. We also have Miss Charmaine LaFine. Now, she cannot, she can't say nothing, and we can't hear her. I don't even think she can hear us, but I will say she too is here. She is an editor for Victoria Shoe Press. She is coming to us from sunny California. No, Florida. She is down in Florida, Florida. I'm not sure of the exact city, but she's down there, right? And she is part of the Magnificent Seven as well. We still are missing a couple of the ladies, because it's the middle of the day and people still got to go to work. So we also have Tanisha Stone, we have Marvis Heinzman, and we have Prunchetta King. They did not join us today, but I know they're here in spirit and they watching us and they're supporting us. So, Journey to Joan. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, right? How did this collaboration come about? No, wait. Before we get to how the collaboration came about, I would really like to know how each one of you got connected with Joan. Before we even get to how did you guys get connected with Joan and Victoria Shoe Press?
Okay.
Want to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
How did I? I originally met Joan at church. We were volunteering together, so that's how we connected. And I knew she was a writer. And I
Right.
don't know if she had her publishing company at that particular time. And so through some Facebook posts, somebody who had written a book,
Hmm.
I saw Joan's name on there, and I was like, "Wait a minute, hold up, what?"
Right.
And so I reached out to her. So that's how I got connected to Victoria Shoe Press. So it's been a journey. And that's been, like I said, that's been some years ago when we connected, but it wasn't until 2019, I think I reached out to her about the
Okay.
book. Might have been 2020 when I reached out to her about the book.
Okay. Okay. And Miss Althea, you want to go next?
Okay. So I met Joan through the editor, Lynn Braxton. Lynn
Okay.
Braxton and I are first cousins, and she told me that I needed to join this. Let me see, what was it? It was a writing camp,
Okay.
and anyway, I got on the writing camp, and I met Joan then, and I've been following her. I believe it's been since 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm,
But
okay.
yeah, I met her through Lynn Braxton, who is a phenomenal editor.
Yes, she is. She is also the editor in chief here at Victoria Shoe Press. So she is definitely a phenomenal editor. And you just reminded me that I was on that writing challenge with you in
Oh,
2020. I
oh,
definitely was on. I sure was. I remember that now because I remember your name. I just remember. your
Oh,
name, your face, everything, and you were definitely on that writing challenge. That is so funny. That's so
yeah, and I don't think Lynn was the editor at that time. I don't think.
funny. She may have been. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I was on there with
All
you.
right.
Yes, ma'am. Tangela.
I met Joan. I feel like it was by divine appointment, if I can say that. I don't want to be called to be all spiritual, but
That's
at the same time, it was, I through my journey with writing, I just felt prompting because I had a book that I
Mhm.
was interested in publishing. And the way I went about it is I knew my aunt, her name is Rosalind Agers. And
Oh,
I decided like, hey, I'm gonna meet you. I know you published your book before. So we met for lunch and we just started talking and she shared a lot about how she did it and gave
mhm.
me the steps. But then she started talking about, this phenomenal woman that she talked about was Joan T. Randall. She was like, I think you should really meet her. And she
Yeah.
started just briefly sharing, like, Victoria's Secret Press, the website. And from that lunch, it was weird. From that lunch, it was just, it was that point where I had enough to do it myself, but there was this urging to kind of do a consult. So
Yeah.
I ended up from the website, it's like consult, 30-minute consult. So I booked a 30-minute consult. And when I filled out all the information, we met, and it was just phenomenal to sit there and besides my aunt, Joan was like
Right.
the second person that I actually like became vulnerable because I feel like with your writing, you become really vulnerable because it's so
Mhm.
near and dear to you. So Joan was
Absolutely.
like the second person that I started, sharing some of my writings with. And she was like, oh my God,
Right.
that's awesome. And so we came up with a plan. This is the funny part. We came up with a plan. She was like, oh, your book is already written. I had finishing touches with the ending of the book. And she was like, she sent me the package and
Mhm.
everything was laid out. So I was getting ready to go and allow Victoria's Secret Press to kind of publish the book.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the amazing thing about God, because I promise you, that's when the Holy Spirit said, wait. And then that's when, like, literally, I want to say it was, I want to say I met with her. I think it was like September. And again, I just heard wait. And then I got an email
Okay.
about, this, create your legacy. And that's where I got introduced to like books to business boot camp. And so it
Mhm.
was just like from just that, all that, I feel like it was just kind of laid out just perfectly.
Right.
From that,
That's how he does it.
I had with my
Yes,
aunt.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And it's always strategic. It's always strategic with
Absolutely.
God. It's always strategic. You know what I mean? You get placed with the people that you're supposed to be placed with. So
Right.
yes, you said divine, absolutely. Absolutely a divine connection. You know what I mean? So that is amazing. And as for Charmaine, I already told you guys she is one of our wonderful, wonderful editors here at Victoria's Press.
Yes.
I'm not 100% sure how the connection first started, but I do know she was also a member of the publishing boot camp and a member of the Magnificent Seven, as you guys have named yourself, right?
Right.
So, how did you guys come up with this idea? How you know what I mean? How in the world
Go,
did you?
Tangela.
The
Tangela.
okay, so that's okay. So which one? The Mag 7? Because I didn't come up with that.
No, the name
No,
of the book,
Oh,
for the book. First of all,
the
share
idea.
what it's about. Yeah, share what it's about because
Hmm.
we don't
okay,
know
awesome,
what
awesome,
it's
awesome. I could
about.
do
Yeah.
that. I could do that. So, what happened was, again, because of my connection with the Book to Business Boot Camp, we know that a part of the boot camp was for the ladies to get together and do a project. Again, I'm type A, so I think we kind of, went really big. I think it wasn't expected to be as big as
You think?
but I feel like when you are being led by God and you are trusting that, then
Right.
you get excellence, you get big. Okay. So what happened was we had a meeting, we all the ladies got together and we were like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? So we're freaking out because of course in the Books to Business Bootcamp, you don't get guidelines. It was just like, okay, you got a project, you got to go live with it. A lot of the
Mhm.
ladies that were a part of that group never went live before. So we're freaking out.
Right. Right.
And so,
Right.
from that, we were kind of from that first initial meeting trying to get together as a group, we were kind of, trying to strategize and we were thinking. Literally that night, I went to sleep. And when I say I was awakened, when I say I woke up with like when God speaks to me, I have to just get up and just look
Mhm.
at my phone and I just type because if I don't, then I won't be able to sleep and it would just be like me laying there trying to go to sleep and just being
Yeah.
downloaded. So I
Right.
can truly say that the vision of this book was, from God. I can't really take credit. I was just obedient. And he saw
Absolutely.
something that we didn't see because in the fact of how the pressure Joan shared later how the pressure and all the things that she was battling and how she was a little wavering about the boot camp and not realizing
Mhm.
how she was impacting 7 beautiful women to walk into their gift
Yes,
and
indeed.
it was an honor to her, but I think also an expression of God's love towards us and our obedience through writing. And so the it was like I can't take credit for the layout. He was like, explain your journey and how every individual lady went through their own experience and how God is using this talent through our writing to serve in multiple areas and to show
Yeah.
himself in the areas through our writing and to create not just a legacy for ourselves, but I feel like they're taking dominion in their lane in
Right.
whatever area of writing they're doing it in. And this was just the platform for that. I just said I follow God. It was literally I can't say anything other than
Right.
it was him giving specifics. And then the ladies, like when it's kind of it resonated with them and they just took it from there and added things and just made it so much, it just added and
Mhm.
blossomed into something very beautiful.
Absolutely. Before I move on, could you just tell me a little bit about your chapter in the book?
My chapter, and it kind of focuses on my one-on-one session that I had with Joan.
Okay.
Because in the boot camp. Let me because in that boot camp, Joan gave one-on-one sessions. And so she was able, to allow God to use her to see some of the gifts that wasn't that I didn't even know I had. Like I knew I had
Mhm.
something, but she just
Right.
brought clarity. And the fact that, everybody that I meet, they always see the passion that I have about Christ and representing them,
Mhm.
representing them on the earth now, not waiting until we get to heaven. And so
Right.
she kind of gave me the revelation of the kingdom strategist because she's like,
Absolutely.
that's what you're doing. And she and so that section of my book helped me to kind of with clarity know my lane of writings. Even though, yes, I'm a mental health, specialist or therapist, like even in my agency, like Christ is the foundation. So it's like even
Mhm.
the books that I'm creating now are from that standpoint that yes, we're in this physical, having this physical expression, but I'm using that wisdom from that writing and that connection with Joan and that clarity and that revelation to kind of show that I'm using my writing to kind of put God on display.
Yeah.
And when it comes to anxiety, we're not going to focus on anxiety. We're going to focus on what God said about anxiety and
Absolutely.
how to
Absolutely.
integrate that into something that we can make tangible and use in our everyday life. Because that's my goal is not to be, oh, let's just pray. No, we're going to tangibly, use the tools in order to see life better. It's not just in word; it's in power as well. And so that's the
Absolutely.
chapter kind of explaining, a little bit about me, a little bit about the kingdom strategist, and then,
Yes.
kind of, empowering other writers to kind of like don't give up on that, even though, because I could have quit. Like I started 7, 8 years ago writing, and
Mhm.
if I didn't, then I wouldn't be here. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
a ploy or appeal to other writers to be like, hey, don't give up. It's important.
Absolutely. And what's the title?
Which title?
The title of your chapter, does it have a title?
It doesn't. It's just my
It
name.
doesn't have just your name. Okay.
It's just my name.
Um,
There's just a subsection in there
yeah.
that that's called the Kingdom Strategy.
Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, I got that all mixed up. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Trina, what about you?
My chapter, oh goodness. It's interesting as I was listening to Tangela talk, I started writing many years ago too. I wrote in the chapter that I started writing 2 years ago. That's not true. Because I was looking through some stuff, and I realized I've been writing a whole lot longer than I've been writing probably since I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So my chapter really talks about my passion to help women and anyone who's gone through a lot of the things that I've gone through, divorce, basic homelessness. Even though I was staying with someone, I didn't have a home on my own and I didn't have any money. So I went
Right.
from not having to having, and how God changed that in my life, and how things transpired in my life. And
Mm-hmm.
that's been my life story, like all the things that I've gone through as an adult and how those things have transformed, but how God was working in the background and I just didn't see it. God was there
Yeah.
working the entire time, ever since I was a young girl. And I just didn't know it. Even when I got pregnant with my daughter at 18, I just didn't know God was in the background, but He sent people to me. And that's what I wanted to share with other people. Like, if you have a story that sounds like that and you think you're too broken to share your story, you're wrong. You're not. God is there to carry you and lift you even when you don't know it. And that's how I wanted to transform that into my writing and my book. And I get so passionate about it sometimes, and I get teary eyed because I know what I've gone through, and writing is a way that I get to express it. And in this chapter, I was able to express some of that in the amount of time that I had. But trust me, there's more books to come because of this chapter.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Mm,
ma'am.
that's beautiful.
Yes. Yes, yes. It is beautiful. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Miss Althea.
Okay, so in my chapter, one thing that Joan brought out when I met with her was about me being a harmony coach. And I had never put two and two together, as the other lady said. Um, I would always be in a situation where people would have issues going on, and I would sit back and listen and not say anything. But in my mind, I would be thinking, wow, this is what needs to happen, and in order to bring harmony in the situation. And
Right.
so, even like Trina just said, I have 5 children, and my children, of course, when you have that many people in a household, there's definitely going to be chaos.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I was always the one to bring harmony, and I'm still getting accolades from my children saying, Mama, do you remember when you did held a mirror in my face and said, look at your face, you don't look good, God is not pleased with that? I don't remember that, but um that was funny when he said that. But I do remember being the one to bring harmony in our family. And that same harmony I took from my family, I bring into the world, into my atmosphere. And
Yeah.
so I practice a lot on bringing situations to at peace. And even when Joan said, you got to come up with a platform, and I'm thinking,
Mhm.
platform, what is a platform? I've
Right.
never been challenged with having a platform. And so when she talked about me being a harmony coach, I thought, oh, wow. And so with me being winning the queen position, I had to come up with a platform. And because
Mhm.
of Joan, I had a platform. And
Yeah.
so I was able to, like we said, God always in Romans 8:28, he says, all things are working together for the good of them who loves him. And I know that we love him. I know that I love him. And so every single thing is not unaccounted for. And
Mhm.
in my harmony life, when I go out and I don't say anything, I used to think, man, I need to say something. I don't need to say anything. I only need to say something when God says to say something.
That's right.
If God
That's
doesn't
right.
say to say something,
Uh-oh, we lost her.
Oh,
Uh-oh, we lost her. We
Yeah, we
lost
did.
her.
I thought it
But
was me.
I know, right? I'm like, is that me? Is that okay? She'll come back. She'll come back,
yeah.
y'all. She'll come back.
Charmaine
Um,
can hear us now.
you can hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
we
Can
can
you hear
hear you
me?
too.
I'm so happy. I'm gonna
Keep
let you go,
pushing.
honey. I'm
Keep
so happy
trying.
you can come
Don't
on
ever
here.
give up. It's
Come
never
on
the
now.
end.
Come
Hallelujah.
on now. Is she back?
Yes.
Am I
Something,
back?
you back? Yes, you're back. Yes, you're back. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I'm gonna
Last
let you go
thing.
ahead and finish. I know you was like, wait a minute.
So
You
you
were
lost
frozen
me,
on
and
that.
then Charmaine came in, and see,
And she came.
I was
And she
saying
came.
that
Tag teaming.
everything works out for the good of them who love God.
Yes, it
Yeah.
And
does.
in my reign of being a queen, I take the harmony part so seriously because I don't have to say anything if
Yeah.
God doesn't tell me to say anything. But when God tells me to say something, I say something, and I do my best to listen to what he tells me to say,
Right.
because every single word that we say is being recorded, and
Right.
every single thought that we think is being recorded. And so it's important to be in harmony with God so we can be in harmony with other people. And
Yes, it
so my
does.
chapter talks about being in harmony.
And that's what's important. And that's
Amen.
what's important. I love it. Sherman! You got
Yay.
some catching up to do.
Yes, we
I'm gonna
do.
go ahead and you take it. Introduce yourself, let the people know who you are and how you came
Okay.
and all of that.
Well, my name is Charmaine LaFonde. That is my author name. I'm stepping out with a new name as I am branding myself in the Who Am I? So, who am I? I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a writer, and I am just a natural born cheerleader. That is my claim to fame. That is something that I've been doing all of my life, just sitting in the background, cheering people on. And that's what I do naturally. And I love when we had to do this project because it helped me to really tap into my kingdom purpose. Because
Hmm.
for so many years, I was focusing on what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? God, what did you create me to do? And
Hmm.
it really came full circle while I was working on this project. He's been trying to tell me all along he cares more about who we are than what we do. And if we can
Hmm.
Yes.
tap into our identity of who we are in Him,
Mhm.
what we're called to do is just going to fall in line because it's in us already and it's
Yes,
in us
ma'am.
naturally. So when I start thinking about all the things that I do naturally, you might think it's insignificant, those little things. But when people always telling you, I always feel better after talking to you. Oh, you're a great writer, or you have, just the attributes that you think are just small. You think they're small
Hmm.
because it's so natural to you. But
Right.
when other people start saying over and over again, just pointing out things, you're always so calm, just what is it? That's who you are in your being. So continue to be who you are, and that will lead you right into what you're designed to do.
Yeah.
And the way that I met Joan is because I was just doing what I naturally did, not realizing my gifts, not realizing the talent. I was working with someone else on an anthology. And the ladies in the anthology, they say, can you look at this and just kind of look it over and see if it sounds right. And so I would do that graciously because I love to help. And that's my other
Mhm.
thing. I just want to help.
Mhm.
Like that with the hamburger helper commercial where the little kid said, and I helped. Well, that was me. I just always want to help, and it costs me nothing to share what I have, what I know. I do that naturally. So that was a gift, of giving that's in me, and also my talent to just have a way with words.
Yeah.
So during that anthology, the ladies kept coming to me to look over their stories and get it, kind of in shape. And the next thing you know, because I had just established a, an LLC, the LaFonde
Mhm.
Experience, I didn't know what that was going to do. That was birthed out of when my son died, and I just felt like I needed to do something to
Yeah.
keep hope alive. I just started to write his story out. I just for therapeutic reasons, just to tell his story. And so from that, I became a writer. And from that, I became a best-selling author 3 or 4 times. And from that, other people started saying, she's good at editing, get her to edit. So I incorporated that into
Mhm.
what I was doing. And here comes Joan, who was looking for an editor. And I had not even put my business out there as an editor because I was still shrinking, like I don't want to
Right.
do it. I'm not that good at it. I'll do it. I'll do it for free because I didn't feel like I could charge people for what I was doing. But
Mhm.
but my ladies were paying me anyway. So I'm like, you know what? Since they have money they want to give to me, let me just set up a structure. So when I met Joan, she was looking for an editor. And she
Yeah.
said, hey, my friend Crystal Cunningham, you're working with her, and she says you're a great editor. I need an editor. Send me, and send me your contract. I don't have a
Right.
contract. I didn't, what's a contract? Okay, let me figure out a contract because she wants to work with me. I don't mind helping her. So that's when it began for me. I just started researching real quick. How do I make this happen? And I started making it happen. And then it started happening more. It was like God set me up for
Oh
something.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
he knew the end, but he had to bring me through it. And that is my walk of faith through writing as I just continued to be who I was, doing what comes naturally, and I'm
Mhm.
beginning to find my groove. And it's a divine groove, and I love how he has just set me up with people in my path that are going the same way, and we're all going the same direction. And it's
Right.
so much easier when you travel with someone.
It sure
So
is.
so
Mhm.
that's how my
Yeah.
journey came to Joan, and how I began to just really step outside of my limiting mindset, that of who I was. And when I tapped
Mhm.
into just being, it became a whole lot easier. And really, that's my encouraging word for anyone who's trying to decide what is it that God wants me to do. Just be who you are. Those things that you do naturally, what
That's
makes
it.
you smile, what we know, those things gravitate to those.
That's
What
it.
makes you cry, even the things that tug at your heart. Pay attention to those things because they're leading you to a place where you can get in that gap and just be you. And you don't have to be anything else or do anything else except be yourself.
Okay. That's it. You're right. That's it. I'm so glad you
Hallelujah.
were able
Yes.
to get on here
Yes.
with us, right?
Yes.
I want to first of all, guys. I had to put when I say guys, I'm talking to the people out here. I put the link in the comments. The link is in the comments. It's also scrolling around on the ticker. So go ahead and download. Go get this ebook, share it, and download it. Right. And it's Joan said, when you take action, God will place the people in front of you that will make the
Yes.
difference. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Marvis is in the back. Marvis Heisman is in
Hey,
the back.
Marvis.
She
Hi,
sure is.
Marvin.
Come on
Hi.
up. up. I'm turning to the left because I got to bring her on my. Oh, on my other screen. Hold on. She can't come on camera though. She can't have her camera on because she's at work. But I'm gonna bring her up just so you can
Okay.
get.
Okay.
Yeah, there we
Hi
go.
guys.
Hello.
I
Wait, did we
did
lose
not
her?
want
There
to
she is.
miss our special event, but unfortunately I am at work and our patient load is heavy. So, and because of HIPAA, I can't be on screen. I'm not
Yes.
even supposed to be on here, but hey, I got to
Yes.
attend, at least be present to our special event.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
wonderful. We thank you for your
Absolutely.
sacrifice.
Yes.
Well, introduce yourself to everybody and let us know how you came to Joan, how you connected to Joan and Victoria's Shoe Press.
Okay, so I'm Marta Heinzman, and through a long journey, a prayerful journey, and a heartbreaking journey for a dear friend of mine, to where I was her unofficial senior editor for some pieces of work that she was writing.
Okay.
And we began to start praying and fasting and seeking God back in 2018 for guidance and leading us to the right editor, the right publisher to bring her baby to life.
Right.
And we came into some editors and some companies and individuals that pretty much took the money and they did not connect with her work,
Mm.
and she was really discouraged. And I tell you, it was like a breath of fresh air or a rebirth when a friend of mine gave me Joan's information, and I reached out to her, and everything fell into place immediately. So that let me know it was ordained that Joan and I meet at the time that we met, and we was literally on the phone like we had known each other, for a span of time, and we was just initially meeting each other, and even to have her on the phone with the very first call, that was ordained by God, because she had a standing appointment that
Right.
canceled at the very last minute.
Wow.
And
Mm.
I don't even think it was minutes later, it was probably seconds later, but I'm not sure, that I called the number that I was given. And Joan told me she normally do not pick up her phone. She let her staff pick it up, or is forwarded, to a voicemail for someone to get back in touch with me. But when the phone rang and she looked at the phone and she said, "I need to take that call." And
Mm.
she took the call, and it was me.
And here we are.
Praise
And
God.
here we are. So my journey to Joan, oh gosh, I'm just starting to realize that I've been on this journey since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that I was on a journey to meet Joan T. Randall, Victorious U Press, Angie Mitchell, all of you ladies, that's the Magnificent Seven, Tangela, Althea, Charmaine, Trina, Tanisha, Prunchetta, everything about meeting each and every one of you, I know was ordained by God. And I
Yes.
know assuredly because of how it came to pass.
Right.
So that's who I am, in as quick as I could make it, to let
Yeah.
you know that this journey to Joan has really been a blessing. And for any future writer, current writer, entrepreneur, anyone that is a creative, and you're feeling like you have no worth, or your voice isn't heard, or your product isn't great, then that's just the adversary speaking to you,
Come on
because
now.
God has poured into you something that he wants
Yes.
to come out. And whenever there's greatness of God, then to man it seems minuscule. To man it
Mm.
seems worthless, but to God it is mighty, and it's
Yes, it is.
liberating, and it's a delivering sound that comes from God that only the righteous can hear. And you
That's
might
right.
not even be striving to serve God right now. However, God know the plans he have for you. So he know the seed he want to get to you, to birth what he has in you, to bring you into your place of righteousness, and to bring you into your place of purpose.
Yes.
That's right.
So That's it, long and short. Sweet.
Yay.
I'm so
And
glad you
thank
were
you for
able
the
to get
opportunity to speak. I tell you, but I'm gonna have to go back mute
that's all right.
before I
That's
let
all
Coach
right.
here.
That's all right. Thank you. So I'm
Thank
so glad
you.
that she was
Yeah.
able to get on here with us, man. I'm so glad. So
Thank you,
I
Miss
wanted to
Bailey.
ask you guys about the writing process. Because of course there was a process, to go through. Each of you had to go through a process, and then collectively as a group, you know what I mean? There was, of course, a process. So what was that like? And anybody remember?
I'll start. I feel like that process, it felt unreal how easy it was to take 7 different women, different locations, to collectively agree without any back and forth,
Right.
without any it was just beautiful. And it further confirmed that, hey, this is what God wants us to do. And I have to go back just a little bit because I feel like Charmaine did not do her due diligence in explaining her part in kind of making it that effortless. She was the editor, and when I say I cried when I got my part back after she edited it. And when I say her skills are like phenomenal, and I'm like, I know she breezed over it, but I had to kind of do it like a little reverse and be like, you
Right.
gotta put an emphasis on that, because that was the beautiful part about this journey is we took the tools that we learned from the boot camp, which again, I
Mhm.
am like raving about that because it just gave us so much information that we were able to build upon and literally produce. I want to say it was less than a year.
Yeah.
7 women, 7 different minds collectively coming together from start, from concept to full product in less than a year.
That's right.
And
That's
I
right.
just think that's just amazing. Maybe it's just me, but I'm like, that's amazing. And I would, do it all over again, especially with these ladies, because they
I
just
agree.
it all we just really flow and vibe really well. And again, it's just, speaks to, when God calls you to do something, it just works.
That's right. And I agree that it was an amazing project. When y'all said, when I'm thinking of the project, because I too am a product of the boot camp, right? I was actually in the first year. And
Okay.
so when we heard, project, we did a whole Facebook live conference type of deal. So this is what I'm thinking. And then last year, the group before you guys did like a Zoom conference, not necessarily a conference, but something along those lines in that line. So when y'all said book, I'm like, what? Wait, what? Y'all gonna do what? So that was amazing to me. That was absolutely amazing that you guys, like you said, got together and created this beautiful book and this tribute. You know what I mean? So I think my kudos and my hat is off to you guys, to all of y'all. Because who would have thought that you guys would come together, like you said, 7 different women, 7 different walks of life, everybody from everywhere. You know what I mean? And come together in such a way that you create a masterpiece, right? A masterpiece on this journey to Joan, on this walk with writing. You know what I mean? So my hat is off to y'all. I think it is amazing. You know what I mean, that you guys did that.
Thank you.
I want to know, how do you guys think this book will impact the world? Or the reader. I say the world because I think big. You know what I mean? So how will it resonate with people, and what do you think they'll get from reading this book?
I'd like to answer that because, for first of all, the fact that we have this product shows what people can do when they come together with one mind, with one goal in mind. That's
Yes,
why it
ma'am.
was so easy, because we were all working for the same thing. Each one of us took our special gift and brought it to the table, and we all worked together. Each one of us are strong in different areas. Miss
Right.
Althea, she's the no nonsense one who will pull it together, and she will put you to shame if you feel like you're too old to do this. Because I'm looking at her going, she's not letting technical difficulties stop her. She
No,
continues to press through no matter what, and that inspired me. And
Yeah.
Trina, with her, just her, the ways that she articulates things, and everybody that brought what they had to the table, and Tangela, you know, as the leader in her really showed up.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
we were all together bringing what we had to the table, and it was really easy. And when God is in it, it's going to work.
that's
Yeah.
right.
If he's the head, it's going to work if
It's
everybody
going to
does their
work.
part. And I go
Yeah,
back to again to, if you just do your part, you don't have to try to be Tangela, because Tangela is Tangela all by
That's
herself.
right.
She is branded Tangela.
That's
Nobody
right.
hmm
can do Tangela but Tangela. And the same thing for each one of us. So if we bring what we have to the table, it's going to impact the world, because they're going to be encouraged and inspired when they read it,
right.
especially the aspiring writer, because sometimes
Absolutely.
they want to know, where do I get started? How do I get started? And this journey that led us all to Joan, it will lead that reader into their destiny. If by just reading this book, they're going to
Mhm.
say, this is where I need to start. And
That's
they're
right.
going to get started on that path that they've been designed to go on, because
Yeah,
they were inspired by one little book, seven little stories, seven
Yeah.
magnificent stories about
That's right.
how we did it. And
you're
it's a
right.
clear guide,
Yeah,
from seven different walks of life. Everybody had different challenges in life, but it all came together, and they're going to be inspired. And people
Yeah.
need to
yes.
be inspired.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Yes. Amen.
I want to add to that. I was at a wedding last month, and at the reception, I sat at the table with some individuals that I had never seen before, and we sat there for probably about 45 minutes without talking to one another. And then I started talking to this one lady and telling her what I do. And she was like, "Oh my God, I would like to write a book." She said, "But I don't know how to get started." And I said, "You are the person that I need to meet, and
Yep.
you need to meet me." And so I started telling her about my journey. And so I already have one client to coach into writing a book. And so that's what life is like. It's
Mhm.
us telling our story, us being ourselves, us pointing others to God, and then a book will happen.
Yes,
That's what
ma'am.
it is.
Yes, ma'am. And what everyone doesn't know is, on top of being best-selling authors and just phenomenal women, you guys also left this boot camp as certified author coaches. You know
Yes,
what I
we
mean?
do.
So
Yeah.
I think all of that is just amazing. It really is, and it speaks, Joan said it's a testament to all of you guys' leadership, and it absolutely is. Y'all all showed up and showed out. You know what I mean? Y'all showed up and showed out as leaders. And so this is the result of that. You know what I mean? And it was a journey, wasn't it? It definitely,
It was a journey.
outside of, everything else, the boot camp was an experience.
Yeah.
The book is an experience. And so just to be able to experience that, you know what I mean? I think that's amazing. I really do. Think that is amazing. Who else is in the back? Did Marcus come? Somebody back there. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me see if perhaps prone.
I
Like,
have a question.
you go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for Charmaine. Charmaine, with you being the editor of all the seven authors, tell us your experience when you were reading the work.
I was inspired, and I was really amazed how each one of our separate lives
Hmm.
led to Joan. It was just
Hmm.
amazing because I could see God's hand in it. So it was kind of like, if you all end up in this one place, coming from your different walks of life, and you end up in this one place to accomplish something, that's where you're supposed to be. So I was inspired just reading the stories. I was I always love to get my hands on it, like to get the first view of it so I can help it really, you know, my thing is to put the polish on it and make it
Yeah.
really blast so that when it gets in the reader's hands, they will say, wow, it
Wow.
speaks to them. And so,
Yeah.
I was honored to do it. I was really
Well, you
honored to
did
do
your
it.
job because I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
wow, too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's with a good editor, having a good editor on your team, and y'all got that, you know what I mean, and really to bring your work together and polish it and make it shine.
Hmm.
And Joan said this has been the highest form of recognition I ever received. I'm sure she probably in these comments crying, y'all. I know she I know she's probably in these comments crying. Lori Sullivan says she's buying this for her baby sister. So thank you, right? And everybody else,
Thank
your
you.
sister, your mother, your friend, your cousin, your auntie, whoever. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Download this amazing book and read these stories, right? And be inspired. Be inspired and encouraged to keep going. You know what I mean? And to go after your dreams. If you want to write a book, come on, write a book. If you want to start a business, whatever it is you want to do, it's just not impossible. You know what I mean? And I think that you guys, y'all just the living proof of that, of course. Just coming together the way y'all did and honoring Joan the way you guys are doing. And it's also an honor to y'all to yourself. It was an amazing accomplishment to go through that boot camp.
Yes,
Yeah.
You
it
know,
was.
it is an amazing accomplishment to go through that boot camp and then come out as authors and friends and sisters and author coaches. You know what I mean? Um, just amazing, just
It
amazing.
is.
And I was honored to work with you all. Trina, I already knew, of course, with Charmaine. But Trina and I were co-authors in The Image in the Mirror too.
Too.
So,
Okay.
so there's that, right? So we all
Yeah.
that connection.
Yes.
We all have that connection, and the connection, of course, is a result of connecting to Joe.
Yes.
You know
Right.
what I mean? So I think this is amazing, and I hope that everyone is downloading and downloading and downloading.
Yes.
So I'm
Mhm.
gonna go around to everybody, and I want to know, just any final thoughts, anything else that you guys want to share, and I'm gonna start to my bottom this time, and I'm gonna start with Charmaine.
Oh, I would just like to say to everybody, whether you're an aspiring writer or whatever your call is, whatever you feel led to do it. Just do it. Like Nike says, don't overthink it. I am the queen of overthinking, and I've learned how to just step into what I'm going to do and trusting that God is leading me. And so if you're
Yeah,
trusting that He's leading you, just keep moving. Don't sit still and no matter what your age, okay? Don't let
that's
your
right.
age be a deterrent. Don't use that as
Amen.
an excuse because you have
Amen.
the wisdom, seasoned women. I'm speaking to my generation. You have the experience, you have the wisdom that you can impart to the younger generation so they won't have to bump around like you bumped around trying to find the door. I am the doorkeeper. I will stand at the door with the door open saying, come this way. You want to be a writer? Come this way. You want to
Yes,
find your
ma'am.
purpose? Come this way. It's all easy. It's all tied into who you are. Know who you are. Start there.
That's it.
I
God,
agree.
that's
I
it, right.
agree.
That's
Excellent.
it.
Yes.
Trina.
Oh, goodness. So, my final thoughts, I'm going to quote something I put in the book from Maya Angelou. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. So, if you have something, as I said before, inside you, and everyone does, don't keep your
Yes.
mouth shut. It
Mhm.
will help someone else. And writing has also just been extremely cathartic for me. I love to write, and writing for this collaboration and doing the whole deal, just working with everyone, it's been a blessing. So don't keep your mouth shut.
I like that. That's right. A
Amen.
closed mouth don't get fed, right?
Awesome.
Amen.
A closed
Wonderful.
mouth don't get fed. So,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Tangela.
I would like to kind of share kind of a quote from the book as well. It's in the vision. and it's just a chapter, a scripture. It's Habakkuk 2:2, and the foundation of how I live my life, and how I feel like everybody, it's especially the foundation of this book is, and it goes this way. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tablets, that he
Amen.
may read that
Yes.
that he may run that readeth it. And I feel like this is just an example of that. Like, even though it was his vision that we wrote down, and
Right.
and when you present it, everybody is able just to run with it. And I'm saying, when you start trusting the voice of the Lord, and this is just an example of what that trust looks like.
Okay.
I never expected to be here sitting on this platform with amazing women, but because of hearing that voice, writing that vision, making it plain, now we're here. And
Right.
just a call to trust that
And
vision,
that's it.
that voice.
And that's
Amen.
it.
Praise
And
God.
that's the trust is the faith, man.
Mhm.
Yes, indeed.
Trust is that
Yes,
faith.
indeed.
And man, without that, you're not gonna go nowhere. So I'm gonna go ahead with Miss Althea. I'm waiting to see if Marvis will be able to. So I'll go ahead with Miss Althea first.
Okay. So one thing that I want to say is a lot of times we allow money to stop us from
Mm.
investing in ourselves.
Hmm.
Um, that first call that I got to be in that, not boot camp, but the other camp, it was only $14.99.
Hmm.
And I thought that I did not have it in my bank account. And between the time that I got the call to sign up and the time that I checked my bank account, I had $20 in my bank account. Tell
Hmm.
me God won't do it.
Come on now. You better come
Come
And
on
on
now.
now.
so and so with that 14.99, I took it, I signed up, and here I am today as what am I?
You
A
are.
certified author coach. That's what I am. With 14.99, it started out with that. And so I want to say to anybody that is listening right now, do not allow money to stop you from investing in yourself.
Come on now.
Because when you invest in yourself, you have no idea where God is going to take you or lead you to. Now, with
That's
that
right.
said, if Paul or Peter or Jesus had not written down what we read out of the Bible, we would not have any direction in reference to
Hmm.
where we should go and what we
Hmm.
should do. But
Right.
because they did, we are the richer. And so, what we wrote in those books, the book Journey to Joan, we are allowing the readers to know that they too have a say in
Yeah.
their world.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so God is touching you right now. You're listening right now, and God is touching your heart to say, go ahead, pick up the pen, go ahead, go online and sign up for that particular course. Don't hesitate because none of
Nope.
us know when our
Nope.
last day is going to be.
Nope.
Come on.
And so that's what I want to leave. Don't let money stop you and be obedient to the word of God.
Come
Amen.
on. Come on now. Marvis, are you able to speak? She may not be able to speak. I don't think she can, but I just wanted to check. Althea, that was a word.
Amen. Praise God.
Investing in yourself, and Joan said it as well. What made this so amazing is that they are invested in themselves to get to that point, and that's it. You have to invest in yourself. And for myself as well, had I not invested in myself and took that leap, I wouldn't be sitting here either. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I would not be sitting here with you guys
Nope.
either. So invest in yourself, invest in your dreams. You know what I mean? Invest in your calling. There's
Yeah.
people that's waiting for you. There's people that need you, right?
Yes.
And that's it. And that's it.
Right.
Invest in yourself. So, oh, she can. Oh, she said she can. I just had to come to the back. So let Marvis go ahead and speak because I was asking her if she had, a few parting words as well.
Hi, just a few. I love what Athea said. Unfortunately, it was kicking me out, so I couldn't hear everyone. Tangela, I loved that scripture because that is so true. And just how purposeful and intentional God is in everything that He does. And there's a strategy to God that we would never comprehend, but we just have to trust the process and have faith in His plan, which is why I strongly lean on Jeremiah 29 that says God knows the plans He has for us, plans of good and not evil, plans to bring us into an expected end that He has for us. And that end is in the abundance and the glory of
Right.
God.
Right.
So, with that being said, I agree with Althea. You have to invest in yourself monetarily. You have to invest in yourself spiritually, naturally, physically. You have to bring that balance. It's so very important to bring that balance into your life.
Right.
I say that all the time to people, whether they are seeking to serve Yahweh, who is God, Jah,
Mhm.
Jehovah, whether they're seeking to serve the creator of all that is, or they are just living their life based on the knowledge base that they have, it's still important to have balance in your life. That's why so much now people are talking about self-care. Self-care is tantamount to balance. You've got to have that balance. And when you strive to have that balance in your life, you will see your worth and you will make the ultimate investment into your
Mhm.
gifts, your talents, your abilities, no
That's
matter
right.
how small they may seem. Somebody in this world will benefit from what you carry,
That's right.
whether it's by word or by deed. So I'm just so thankful that God has blessed me to be a part of the retreat and the
Yeah.
boot camp and being in the presence of you awesome creative ladies and just meeting Joan period. I thank God that I have emerged from the retreat and the boot camp as a certified author coach. I'm being trained and licensed to be a publisher because God has blessed my
Yeah.
friend Punchetta, who's another co-author in this anthology, to open up our own publishing company, which we'll be launching very, very soon. And all of this, guys, Prune and I was talking about this a few years ago. And I have it written down in spiral notebooks where we was just talking and brainstorming, creating creative ideas, titles, you name it. We write it down, inventions, and God had us to meet Joan and go to that retreat.
That's
And
it.
from that retreat, go to boot camp. Althea, I could not even afford to attend the boot camp. And God sent an angel. Matter of fact, He sent multiple angels and He sent favor and blessings upon me to where He blessed me to financially be able to attend that boot camp. And
Amen.
because of the favor and because of the heart of Joan, she knew something that I didn't know.
Mm.
Mhm.
And
All
she
Mhm.
right.
knew a part of my purpose that had not even been revealed to me. And
Yes.
because of her heart and her relationship with God, then she became favorable to me for me to attend that boot camp. And now we have a publishing business. And
Yeah.
I tell you guys, I can fill you up with how God is moving, how His strategy and His plan is unfolding every moment of every day. But it all started with that first step of saying I'm worth something. I
Right.
want to invest in me. I want to now move forward with something God has given unto me and stop helping others to always build theirs. I can
All right
still help
now.
them to build theirs, but
Come
I
on
need to
now.
build what God has given me.
Yes.
So
That's
that's my parting word to you guys. I love you much. I thank you for everything. I thank you for being the shining lights upon this journey. Angie, I thank you, girl. Your spirit is awesome, and I just love how you flow, honey. So I know Joan is listening. Love you, Joan. Thank you, Elder.
Yes, we
It's been a
love you.
tremendous blessing, and I know there's more to come. So, to everyone that is listening, take these nuggets, and run, don't walk, run towards your righteous destiny and
Go.
start embarking upon that journey that God has for you.
That's
Thank you
it.
so much.
That's good. That's good. Did
Amen.
I get everyone? I got everyone right. Tangela, did I
Yes,
get
you
you? I
Yes.
did. I had to
Yes.
make sure because I got to make sure now. Make sure I have everybody. So I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna take you guys off screen. Thank you so much for being on here. It has been my honor and my pleasure.
Thank you.
And I love all of y'all, man, and congratulations. Y'all keep downloading this book. Wait a minute. I'm gonna take y'all up out of here. Uh-oh. Listen, it's my internet is acting crazy, y'all, but I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't know what's
We
going
hear
on.
you.
Let me see. There we go. So we are wrapping up at the end of this beautiful book launch. My little whining dog is in the background getting on my nerves, but I just want to wrap up though, and kind of reiterate what everyone said as far as investing in yourself. Vontae, please get this dog. It's so important. It's important. You can't keep saying I don't got it. I don't got no money. I'm gonna do it next week or I'm gonna do it next time or I gotta wait because whatever. We gotta stop living like we got time because we don't got no time. You know what I'm saying? As Althea said, we don't know when our next second is. And you don't want to get up wherever it is you end up after this life and say, well, dang, I wish I would have. You know what I mean? Or if you get, you getting older, whatever the case may be, you don't want to be, at some point in your life being regretful of the chances that you didn't take, of the changes that you didn't make for yourself. So, as what did I just do? I didn't did something that I wasn't supposed to do. But let me stop there. I added Marvis back to the stream. But what I'm gonna say is take a chance on yourself. You know what I mean? Invest in yourself. If you got a dream, you got something, invest in yourself. We all are here, all of us, as a result of investing in ourselves. And so I'm inviting you to invest in yourself and join us at the Power of the Pen Writing Retreat is coming up in November. All of these ladies, myself included, are a product of the Power of the Pen Retreat. So, we are living proof, man. We are living proof that it can be done, right? With the right tools, with the right support. So I put the link in the chat. I'm inviting you. Come on, man. Come on out and join us. The dates are, hold on, I'm looking to the side because I'm not good with dates. November 3rd, 2nd through the 4th. We got a VIP day coming up. We want to see y'all. We want y'all to come out. VIP is in person. This is a hybrid event. Go to the landing page, go to the website, check it out, and see what we have to offer. And I hope to see y'all there. So y'all know I love to say until next time, America, like I'm Maury Povich or somebody. So I'm gonna say it has been an honor and a pleasure. And thank you guys for joining us. And I'll see y'all next time.